We live in a rapidly changing world. From technological challenges to worldwide crises, we see, design, and overcome. It takes creativity, new technology, and collaboration to create real impact. We're always moving and looking for better ways to live our lives. In short, innovating. These innovations are driven by bright minds, your minds. You are the minds of tomorrow. You will create our future. Welcome to the 10th edition of Create Tomorrow, the largest student think tank in the world. We think, create, and provide solutions to shape the future. Together with hundreds of students, we strive for impact and come up with new innovations. This year, not from our big festival tent, but from any place around the world. Get ready for inspiring keynotes, workshops, entertainment, and an exciting competition. Let's stay connected today and work together towards a better tomorrow. So are you ready to come up with the best solution? Let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's create tomorrow.
Hello everybody at home and welcome at the 10th edition of Create Tomorrow. We started a bit later, but finally we are here and I hope you're as excited as we are to get started. Create Tomorrow is known as the world's largest think tank. In previous editions, as you know, hundreds of students were gathered in a tent to create tomorrow during a whole day. But unfortunately, due to the whole COVID situation, still it's getting better, but we still have a digital version. But we know also from students, from people participating, that you're able to be still creative and get most out of it, even from the comfort of your home. So it has to take place online, but it also means that we're not per se now on the campus of the University of Twente, but from worldwide, people are able to join during this edition. Students are going to work on challenges brought in by all kinds of different companies and organizations. And while this may be the second time that it is online, this is the first time that Create Tomorrow consists of 2 full days. So for the first time, I can say welcome to the first day of Create Tomorrow. And today we will inspire you and prepare you for tomorrow. But before we get started with that, let's see the organization of Create Tomorrow. Yes, and on the stage right now, standing next to me is Jaap Beerning, CEO of Novelty, Eline Kikkert, portfolio holder, external relations, entrepreneurship and innovation at the Student Union, and Esmee Bakke, the chairwoman this year of the Create Tomorrow board. So starting with you, how are you feeling, Esmee, right now?
Good. Excited to be here. So,
nice, it's finally going to happen.
Yeah.
Working for a year towards this. And what is it like to organize such an event?
Well, it's been a really unique experience since it's the second online edition, and a lot of new things were on our path that weren't in the previous editions, but we got a lot of help from the previous organization and a lot of inspiration from them. So that made it all a little bit better. But I do like to be challenged, so it was a very fun learning experience for me. And yeah, my favorite part is that I got to meet so many new people from different organizations and from different backgrounds. Although it was almost all from a computer screen, it was still really fun to meet all those new people. And with that, I also want to thank everyone that helped organizing this edition. So my fellow board members, but also the people from Novelty and from Student Union. Yeah, we had a lot of help from you guys, so thank you for that. And we've worked really hard to set up this edition. So we hope you will enjoy it as much. Good luck, everyone. Enjoy these.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can imagine indeed that you did a lot of work, so thanks already for that, to creating a sort of today and also tomorrow, but it's now up to you at home to start working on tomorrow. And you mentioned already some of the partners, Jaap, Novelty, also my boss, so this is also
a little bit exciting.
Yeah, it's always exciting to do these questions then online next to your boss, but we just had my yearly talk, so I'm good for at least a year. Tell me, what is the role of Novelty at Create Tomorrow?
Well, maybe I think in general the role of Novelty is to empower innovation and entrepreneurship. That's where we all about. And that's also where this event is all about. So it's about entrepreneurship, about creativity, about innovation. And what I really like about this event is that we try to stimulate the genius of the collective. And the creativity of different people, different types of people, business people, students, the combination between creativity and visibility, challenge and ideas, and that's what I really like about this event. It's an ecosystem around innovation in 2 days, and that's for sure a great thing.
Nice, and still in a digital way, almost hopefully getting back with Novelty towards like the physical stuff again, or is there still also an opportunity to reach even further than Enschede, Twente, whatever?
Yeah, I think it both. So if I look to the movie we just saw, and you see the big tent on the campus, that really is you can't do it on digital way. But there are also big advantages of doing it digital. We now have teams from all around the world joining these 2 days, and that's great. And that's more difficult if you do it just physical. So I think the keynote speaker Bas, he travels all around the world, but he's able to join us today because it's digital. So it has some big advantages also.
Nice, and maybe one last question is, I saw you're also in the jury. I don't know if we are allowed to say it, but I just did. So are you, because you also participated once in the UT's challenge yourself, and you sometimes said to me like you created something that later on happened also in the beginning in San Francisco.
Do you have to remind me again of that? Yeah.
And it's still a painful thing.
It's now called Uber. Yeah, we thought about it. I think well, it was 12 years ago in the Create Tomorrow Denk Tank at the UT. Great idea, but nobody of our team thought, well, we have to do something with it. It was a little bit carpool online together. That's how we called it over then. And well, somebody did it and went very successful, so that's a great thing, and for sure. And that's also, it all starts with an idea. But if you do not think about execution, and that's also for me something to think about tomorrow in the jury, if you do not think about the feasibility and execution, it will not happen. So idea is one, feasibility and execution is even more, is as important as the ideas.
So at least for the people at home, indeed, as in if you think tomorrow, hey, is this idea working, or do I need to continue? It's indeed execution, but also indeed if you don't execute, maybe somewhere in the world you see something popping up, and then you have to be reminded every time when Create Tomorrow is being organized to the moment that you could also now be, have been the CEO of a Uber-like kind of company.
Yeah, if you have a good idea, let it be the start, these 2 days, and not the end.
Nice, but still we're happy to also have you as CEO of Novelty, so in that sense, still good to have you. Talking indeed about these kind of events, Celine, as in these kind of things don't happen, and often are also being founded within the student union.
Yeah.
How does the student union help organizing these kind of things, and maybe even the question why?
Right, that's a good question. Thank you. Originally, the Create Tomorrow is an event from the Student Union, and we want students, we want to give them an opportunity to create something like this and give them the responsibility to do so, to do more than a degree, so to do more next to your study. And this is a great opportunity to get in contact with all the companies, organizations, enlarge your network, but also the whole organization of a big event like this. With so many students and participants. But next to that, it's also nice to participate as well. Like it's also an opportunity to do more next to your study. So yeah, in that way, we help you organize it, and but mainly give all responsibility to them, and we help where they need
Yeah.
us. So
And I can imagine, indeed, also for the union, it's a challenging year. A lot of students, indeed, also sitting maybe from the comfort of their homes. But normally, as you know, we have a beautiful campus that really is suitable for these kind of things. Is there anything else that you want to say to all these students, like maybe still sitting at their home, to sort of inspire them to still get most out of it?
yeah, keep hope. Like we have so many opportunities and chances to do more than a degree, even when you're at home. So, yeah, just look around you, and you can do whatever you want. So.
Great. It's a good. Thank you, very much for those inspiring words, and I think for all the organization, as in indeed you brought in all the work, whatever it is, and you still have to decide also on a winner. But still, it's now up to the people at home and the inspiration that you get today already, and even the challenges at the end of the day, to see what we get out of it. So thank you. And let's continue on at home with what this day will bring. It's a day full of inspiration, and after a small break after this part, so still we have a keynote in a bit, a very special keynote. The panel discussions start on the 4 different themes that take place today. One is energy transition, that I also will host, so looking forward to that talk. Smart cities, connected healthcare, and future industry. Then we will have a dinner break. The companies will be announced after that, the challenges that you will work on. So you could already start tonight, working maybe through the night to make sure that you create that maybe Uber kind of idea. And tomorrow we will have a busy day. And I will quickly talk you through it. So pay attention, make notes on your computer or whatever that is necessary, or just watch the website where you can also see the program. But just for here, you will work on your challenge tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. tomorrow. And the companies will be ready in the video rooms to answer your questions from tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So any question that you still have towards the challenges, you can ask over there. There are also time slots where each team can get one-on-one with these companies, which you received in the information email yesterday. And tomorrow we also offer a full program full of interesting keynotes and entertainment guided by a special host, Diederik Jekel. And this will last until the announcement of the winner of Create Tomorrow 2021, which will be followed by a silent but still very movable, hopefully at your home, disco. It's also good to know that there are some deadlines, and the first deadline will be at 12:30, and the final one will be at 5 p.m., followed by a dinner break. Final part of the announcements for today. Besides the program, we offer the workshops, design thinking, done by Wiro Kuipers, and So You Think You Can Pitch from Peter Langela, which are already accessible via the platform that you're on. So if you want to do that already tonight, after we announce the challenges and want to be prepared, you can already watch them. And last note, for any questions during the panel discussions that we host later on, or for any technical questions that you still have, don't hesitate to use the live chat that you probably now already see somewhere in your screen. And you can access the live chat by clicking on the bottom right button on the platform. That's a lot of information in a short time, but don't worry, the complete program, as being said, can be found on the Create Tomorrow platform. But that's it for the information. It's time to get the day started with some inspiration. We promised you inspiration today, and we fixed that. And for that, let's almost get on this virtual stage, Bas Timme. So joining me on this virtual stage is Bas Timme from Shelter Suits to kick off this event with an inspiring keynote. And if I'm correct, Bas, you can hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
That's good to hear. Before I give you the virtual stage, we had to even solve some technicalities, and that is now being fixed. But we also had to follow you a bit already across the world. So first we wanted to do like a live connection with New York. But we changed plans, and you're not here. You're also not in the Netherlands because you're now in
Paris.
Paris. What brings you to Paris?
Well, we started a collaboration with a high-end fashion brand called Chloe, and that's where I'm now. So we're finalizing all the models that will be sold as a collaboration to support our foundation.
Nice. And then maybe before we dive into also what you're doing, the important question: if somebody is in Paris, what did you have for breakfast?
Een pan with salami. So and some pickles, nice and French baguette.
Nice. That's a good way to start also the keynote. Thanks for being with us, and the virtual stage is yours.
Ah, thank you. So yeah, I am Bas Timmer, and I'm the founder of Shelter Suit. I'm a fashion designer, and I really like to create things with my own hands. So I started my own fashion brand like 10 years ago, and I was really focused on making very warm winter clothes. And actually, out of the blue, we all hear the news that the father of two of my friends, who was homeless at the time, died due to hypothermia on the streets while I was making these warm clothes. And I just found it really strange that this was happening. Of course, it hurt everybody, but I just also felt a bit uncomfortable that I was designing clothes, and I saw that we all have so much wealth and so many products and so many innovations. And how is it possible that there are no innovations or products to support the people that are forced to sleep outside? So I thought maybe I can create something for these people and give it away for free, do 100 products, and return to my normal fashion designer job. So I just created a prototype, which is a shelter suit, as you can see on the screen. It's actually a very warm, waterproof jacket with the option to attach a sleeping bag to it. It has a very big hood. It even has a turtleneck, like a scarf, to protect you from the wind. It has very big pockets, and the sleeping bag, you can zip it off the jacket and can turn it into a blanket. I made that first prototype, and I was very nervous to give it away to a person that was experiencing homelessness, but I just went for it. I went to a shelter, and I gave it away to a person, and he was first a little bit, like not so open to talking with me. So I felt a bit uncomfortable, but as soon as I took out this jacket, his eyes opened up, and he's like, "Whoa, did you make this for me? It looks so cool. Can I have it? Can I try it?" I said, "Yeah, it's yours, of course." So he tried it on, and he said, "I also have two friends who are from Africa, who don't have any rights for asylum, but are also forced to sleep outside. Can I share this jacket with them?" And I thought, "Whoa, this guy is thinking about other people while he's in need. No, I'm not gonna. You don't have to share this suit. I'm gonna make extras." And so I made 2 extra, made 100 extra, and that really became the start of Shelter Suit Foundation, because not just the homeless people, but also the shelters told us, like, "Oh, this is a great solution for the people that we need to deny shelter." Because there are a lot of people that are not able to go inside because they have a dog, or they might sometimes be aggressive, or the shelters are full sometimes. So can you please make more of these suits? And we said, yeah, we can. And we discussed with a lot of people that like friends and family. And he said, "Why don't you start your own factory?" So we did. We started our own social factory, where we protect the homeless by giving away free products. We give people a job that have a distance to the job market, and we upcycle materials. We employ mainly Syrian refugees in our factory, and they all got a job now. We've got approximately 20 people in our factory in Enschede, And all the suits are made from leftover materials from the textile industry. On the left, you see a big pile of sleeping bags. We collect them through the Netherlands. Everybody sends them to us. We go to festivals to pick them up when there are festivals, of course. So the bags we wash, that's the inner lining of the jacket, and the outside is tent material, which we get donated from Tenkate, and it's all leftovers from their production. We wash them, we upcycle them, and in the past 6-7 years now, we've made over 13,000 of these shelter suits, and they've been distributed all over Europe. Also in refugee camps, we've given over 1,000 of these suits to children in Lesbos, in Sarajevo, in Samos, and in other countries in Europe. And I've here a video that gives you an overview of what we do in the Netherlands. Ik heb mode gestudeerd en ik had mijn eigen kledinglijn. En toen er in Enschede een man overleed aan onderkoeling, dan bleek de vader te zijn van 2 vrienden van mij. Deed me dat zoveel pijn dat dit in Nederland gebeurt. Dat ik dacht, ja, misschien kan ik iets ontwerpen dat dit tegengaat. En dat heb ik toen gedaan. Ik heb 1 pak uitgedeeld aan een dakloze man in Enschede. En wat er bij die man teweeg bracht, dat was gewoon echt oprechte blijheid. Nou, dat was eigenlijk voor mij het moment om niet meer door te gaan. Er zijn inmiddels ook 31.000 daklozen in Nederland. En dat is een behoorlijk hoog getal. De sheltersuit is een waterdichte jas met een aanritsbare slaapzak. Met een hele grote capuchon. Met een ingebouwde kool. Zodat je je gezicht ook nog goed kunt beschermen. De sheltersuit wordt gemaakt hier in ons sociale naaiatelier. Waar voornamelijk vluchtelingen werken. Ook andere mensen die een afstand hebben tot de arbeidsmarkt.
Het is altijd gezellig hier met heel veel nationaliteit werken. Er zijn heel veel Syrische jongens, Afrikaans. Ik heb al ervaring van 14 jaar als kleermaker. Mijn opa had een bedrijf en ik meer van was begon ik daar te werken. Ik weet wel hoe moeilijk is het om buiten te slapen. Dus ik vind het wel heel leuk om dakloos mensen of vrij de vluchtelingen te ben.
Heel blij en die werk. Ja, allemaal familie.
De pakken worden helemaal gemaakt van afvalmaterialen. De materialen die halen wij van festivalterreinen af. Zo struinen wij echt allemaal slaapzakken daar vandaan. En wij krijgen donaties van grote textielbedrijven die restproducties hebben, zoals waterdichte tentstoffen. We hebben zo'n 3000 in totaal nu in Nederland uitgedeeld. En daarnaast zijn we ook naar Sarajevo gegaan, waar het -20 wordt in de winter. Dus daar is het echt heel koud. Maar ook Lesbos, waar veel vluchtelingen nu vastzitten. We krijgen alle materialen wel gratis, maar we willen de mensen hier in het atelier ook een toekomst bieden. We hebben nu een aantal mensen op de loonlijst. En dat willen we graag zo houden. Wij geloven erin dat eigenlijk iedereen warmte verdient. Of je nou een vluchteling bent, dakloos bent of uitgeprocedeerd. Mijn droom is dat wij samen als mensheid gaan zorgen voor de mensen die niet zo goed voor zichzelf kunnen zorgen. Dus als wij nou lokaal op meerdere plekken in de wereld dit soort initiatieven kunnen opzetten, dat wij producten maken om mensen te beschermen, en dat we uiteindelijk iedereen dat stukje bescherming kunnen bieden. En hopelijk dat het uiteindelijk niet meer nodig is. Maar tot die tijd in ieder geval een warme jas. Yes, so that's basically our factory in the Netherlands, and we're really proud of our team. It's really a team effort. We're like a family at Shelter Suit. We help everybody with Dutch language lessons or just the basic things that you need to function well and be happy in the Netherlands. But for the homeless people, it's really a worldwide problem. And in every country, there are different circumstances for people that are forced to sleep outside. So in the Netherlands, in the winter, it's very cold. But we found out that in other countries, it can also be very cold in the winter, but not as cold as in the Netherlands. And they need different products than a shelter suit. Every homeless person has actually their own specific needs. Some persons need like probably maybe a very lightweight poncho. Other people's might need a very big backpack to carry all the stuff around. And when I was invited by the Rotary to go to Cape Town to see if we could copy Shelter Suit over there, I saw that the Shelter Suit was just not the perfect fit. What the people needed there was a mattress that they could sleep on with a waterproof cover because it rains a lot in the winter, and some protection from the wind. And this all needs to be rolled up and become a backpack because it needs to be easy to carry around, and it needs to be easy to roll up and roll out so you're fast. So we designed the shelter bag, which you see on this photo. This is the shelter bag when you lay in it. It has a very big hood, there's a mattress, it's waterproof, and it's breathable. And all these ladies are now also on the payroll in our factory in South Africa. And most of them also experienced homelessness. And we're very happy that we're able to offer them a job. And that's all thanks to donations. We receive donations from individuals like you guys that are listening, or corporates, or foundations. They all support us because we have three interesting pillars. We're upcycling waste materials, we're giving jobs to people that have a distance to the labor market, and we're helping the homeless. And I've got a really nice short clip of a woman that's working in our factory. Here she is.
We always think it's like celebrities or people with a lot of money that can help or make a change in other people's lives. But it's just me and you. If you are available, then you can be the help to that next person. To me, it's a privilege to work where I'm working, knowing that my job is making a difference in the next person's life. It's a needlework studio. So basically, I work with ladies. And they are older than me. I'm the youngest chick on the block. They are to me like my sisters and my mother, because I can ask them for personal advice. And they also teach me to make these bags. Working here at the Shelter Suit Foundation, it is it's something different to where I come from. I have a background of call center, working doing a marketing job, where I always had to push to make my target and get an incentive for it. But yeah, I earn my basic salary, but the incentive for me is knowing that this job that I'm doing here is going to make a change in the next person's life. So to me, it's not about money, but it's living out a use case. So it's awesome working here.
So this just keeps us all going to make Shelter Suit grow. As I just said, homelessness really is a worldwide problem. And I've been to the US. We've also set up our Shelter Suit USA Foundation. And when I arrived in San Francisco in LA, it really shocked me, the scale of homelessness in the US and also in other parts of the world. It's really a big problem. And I want to protect everybody. I want that everybody that's living outside has the right to at least have that product to be protected and to wake up the next day and maybe change your life. But to do so, you need a lot of money. And depending on donations is very hard. I've been fundraising now for 6 years, and it's tiring to hold up your hand, and 9 times out of 10, nobody drops something in it. So it's really a hard job. So last winter, we decided that it's time to also launch a product that consumers can buy, and the profits go to our foundation. And we've designed, I thought, 15 unique backpacks, all limited edition. It was quite nice. Vogue US wrote about it, quite a lot of media outlets. And by buying this backpack, you're actually able to save a life. These were the backpacks. They were sold out in 45 hours or something. So out of this, the conclusion is that it worked. So we are now very active in setting up a brand that people can buy to support our foundation. But we've also been approached by one of the biggest fashion companies in the world, and that's Chloe. And they asked us, like, can't you design a backpack that is made out of our leftover materials. And for every backpack a person buys, we donate an extra shelter suit to you guys. So if you buy a backpack, we will actually donate for 2 shelter suits. So we, in the middle picture, you see there, the lady has the guy has a backpack in his hand, and that's one of the backpacks. All the 3 jackets you see are shelter suit jackets. They also asked us to make shelter suits with Chloe fabrics as inner lining, and they just turned the jackets inside out for the fashion show, and that was in March. And oh, let me see, there on the right, you see me showing one of those shelter suits with all these crazy prints. And this was also quite an exciting project where we're still working on. These are the backpacks we designed. It's all waterproof, 100% upcycled. The leathers that are used, the leather parts are all from dead stock from Chloe. And it's completely, it's completely upcycled. Even the straps are from car seat belts. And this is the video we made with Chloe. Homelessness and other seemingly insurmountable problems we see in the world today will only be solved through meaningful collaborations and partnerships. The Shelter Suit and Chloe collaboration is a fantastic example that stems from Chloe's drive to change the narrative of luxury fashion with purpose. This is what the Shelter Suit Foundation is all about. People helping people. So we've been working really hard on this collaboration, and it turned out that a lot of other companies are really looking for ways to change the world and be better in doing business, having more purpose in their corporations. So a lot of companies are reaching out now to start collaborations. And one exciting collaboration that we just confirmed last week is with the big transport company called Maersk. They will distribute shelter bags for us, made in South Africa, distribute them in Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, and Panama. And that's the first project. And the second project will probably be building sewing studios in their containers to employ people in those areas. And the nice thing is we're now distributing shelter bags in Los Angeles in a month, and shelter bags in Sydney next winter. So step by step, we're changing the world, and we invite you all to be part of our movement. Follow us online, support us with anything you can, share our message, and together we are people helping people. Thank you. Any questions?
Great, thank you. Very much, Bas. It was really inspiring to hear and also to see the whole development. Of course, myself being a citizen of Enschede, at least you can already, in a sort of early stage, follow up on what is happening at Shelter Suits. And I also remember visiting indeed the location in Enschede where everybody is working on these products. And that was really inspiring to see and to meet these people that also work on these kind of things. So yeah, thanks very much also for doing this kind of work and also seeing a huge development to create these kind of things. And I also saw, indeed, what you mentioned that struck me as in, you mentioned that we try to take care of protection, we want to create jobs, but also the materials. You want to be circular, sustainable, whatever you want to call it. And normally, we are now at Create Tomorrow, people working on ideas that should make impact or change huge societal problems often. I can also imagine that you said, I want to protect everybody, but in a wider sense, that could be like almost an impossible mission. How do you narrow down to just making daily steps?
I think working, really hard with a full team, and like also trust on your instincts. Like if, for instance, the Rotary in Sydney reaches out to us and says like, hey, we would like to set up Shelter Suit as well. Then we just start a project where we deliver shelter bags, we test it with the shelters, we receive feedback. And if the feedback is all good, then we start the second step of building a factory over there. And it goes step by step. But I really, like, for me, I cannot create a smaller idea in my head. It needs to be this idea that everybody's protected. If you're living in India, Sydney, San Francisco, or Berlin, or Enschede, you need that basic protection. And it gives me the drive to work my ass off to make this happen. And I don't say it needs to happen in the next 10 years, but in the next 80 or 100 years, I believe that in every country, a shelter suit factory must be achieved, and it's actually achievable.
It is also, and that struck me also, talking about your drive. You said, for instance, that these kind of things cost a lot of money, of course, and then 9 out of 10 times all the projects maybe that you start, or all the fundraisers, or these kind of things maybe don't result in a result that you like to see. And you said it's quite tiring then often, as in, what is still the biggest driver then for you to now, even in these times that, of course, maybe people watch and think, oh, nice, you went to New York or Paris, but still, it is challenging, it's cost energy, it's not enjoying a holiday, it's like on a mission. What is that really motivation that after all these years being tiring, still see maybe that it's a big worldwide problem still, and having that big goal maybe still far away? How do you get out of your bed?
I think that first of all, it's also a lot of fun personally to do this. Like if I hand out a suit, the response from the person that received the suit is like super nice. So I feel good, he feels good, everybody feels kind of good in doing that. And I meet a lot of people, which is super nice. But I think the main thing for me is that nobody ever disagreed with me that we shouldn't protect people. So if still almost 100% of the people say, yeah, you're actually right, there should be some protection for these people when they are forced to sleep outside. So for me, it's proven that this needs to happen. And in this whole process, I can get to be very creative as well, making up campaigns, creating new products, listening to the people that are sleeping on the street, to listen to their needs and design something new, do a presentation to you guys. It's all, I like it. Yeah.
Nice. And I have a pen in my hand, and maybe the people know the movie Wolf of Wall Street, whatever you think of it, you have the moment where they say, sell me this pen. And maybe, let's say that's like the opposite of social entrepreneurship. It's really like whatever you can sell, make money out of it. Here you can talk maybe about the topic of social entrepreneurship. Like I also imagine that people that start working on ideas in the challenges tomorrow, think maybe we can even create something that also makes impact. But for you, do you consider yourself as social entrepreneurship? Could we, for instance, not in what you do, but compare it to the chocolate factory that everybody knows, the Tony Chocolonely kind of candy bars making these kind of things done. How would you position your company?
Well, we're now basically 100% a non-profit, a foundation. So we rely on donations. So yes, like you could call me a social entrepreneur, but Shelter Suit isn't a social enterprise yet. We're a foundation, rely on donations, and it would be super nice that we have this separate entity that makes these products that...
Apparently we have a hiccup.
Donates the profit to working on. So yeah, but I'm also, I don't know, like you could say like a social entrepreneur, but also a very creative one. So I'm not like, I find it hard to focus a lot of times. So I go, Monday I have this idea, Tuesday I have that idea, and then Monday is a bad idea. Like it goes on and on, which can also be sometimes frustrating for the team. So we have a really nice balance where in my team, some people are very structured, and I am not.
It brings the creative process in it, but it also probably brought you so far. Now, a question that often these jury members ask that is quite cliche, but I'm still curious. If you look 5 years back, you see indeed where you're now. It's really impressive, and still the question like where is this? Where are you in 5 years? Are you first of all with the company maybe, and second of all also for yourself? Do you because you said I want to protect everybody? Is there a moment that you stop with it, or do you, of course you cannot predict it, but do you see yourself like for a really long time still going into this mission?
Yes, I think in 5 years I'm still 100% committed to this goal, setting up factories all over the world. But I do hope that I get more space to create new products. Because when I went to San Francisco, I saw that the shelter suit is not a good fit. The shelter bag is not a good fit. But what is? And I want to spend my time on that. And I don't have the time now. So creating those products, I hope that I can become doing that full time, creating new products, but also products for consumers that people can buy to support us. And I hope that it's like in 5 years, we're halfway of being a Patagonia scale kind of company that protects the unsheltered.
Nice. That's. I really wish that also, not for the sake that I also like Patagonia, but also the fact that making impact indeed is possible also in a way that it reaches more than just indeed helping a few in the beginning. Maybe to finish up, of course, we have an audience. It's now the two of us in the screen, but there are multiple people watching that indeed start working on challenges. That is not per se like how do we make as a company more money. Indeed, like how do we do things around the energy transition? How do the yesterday there was kind of news everywhere about Shell and the things that are happening over there. So also like making impact for a lot of things. Do you have any tips like where to start, how to think, how to be creative?
Well, to start, you need to be confronted with the actual problem, I think. Like, unfortunately, I was confronted with something that like was very close to me and my friends. So, but that's the reason that I felt I need to do something, and I need to do it also good. If that didn't happen, the product wouldn't have been born, and the foundation wouldn't have been there. So go to the problem, visit a platform where oil is drilled, or go to a place where damage has been done, like in Groningen, for instance. Or there are a lot of places where there is where there's a shit show going on. So go there, confront yourself, talk to people, interview them, and out of those responses and answers, you will get inspiration to create something that can help those people. But you cannot do it from the back of your computer. I don't believe that. Like, it just needs to, you need to be touched, and that gives you inspiration, that gives you the drive to change tomorrow.
Nice. I think this is a great tip, and you also just mentioned it, like still handing out these shelter suits. I think that I can imagine that that's still a trigger every time indeed you're confronted with such a situation of a homeless person.
Exactly.
That it drives indeed to do more and do better.
Absolutely.
Final question. As in, I can imagine we are now targeting creative students often because they're at Create Tomorrow. So maybe what you mentioned, like, hey, how to solve San Francisco, how to solve other issues, how people watching at home, how can they still help Shelter Suit today with creativity, with money, with whatever you're buying, backpacks, whatever it is. Like, what can they do if they think like, hey, I'm touched also by this? How can we help? Maybe student homes that think, hey, let's adopt something that could help you.
Well, actually, all of those examples you've just mentioned are very welcome. So it can be a monthly donation of 2, 3 euros, 5 euros. You can think like, do I know somebody that works in a big company that might want to change the world and wants to collaborate with Shelter Suit? Let them reach out to us. I think it's really about trying to help other people. So you can also go to shelters and ask if you could do volunteering work. It doesn't all have to be for Shelter Suit. Just try to help one another, and if you're able to support us financially with a little bit, that's more than welcome, because we really depend on donations. But all is good. Support us, reach out, and follow us.
Great. Thank you very much. Again, we really appreciated that you kicked off Create Tomorrow 2021. Often if you target for keynote speakers, if they're from businesses or whatever, it's hard to target them because are they too busy and they don't consider this as being important, or they're too expensive. In your case, it was not per se hard to target you, but we see you really going to New York, going to Paris to make impact. And so you're really working hard to save and help a lot in this problem. So again, we really appreciated that you made time in Paris to inspire us at the beginning of this day. And of course, all the luck. And for everybody indeed, follow up on what you're doing, because as you've said in your keynote, there's a lot more coming up also for Shelter Suits. Thanks, Bas Timmer of Shelter Suits.
Thank you.
Yes, and that was the first keynote where we kicked off this inspiring day. So we hope you enjoyed that, and it also helps you already with some tips and tricks, but also how to make impact for this day, but also tomorrow when all these challenges start, at least that you can start working on these challenges. For now, we already told you the whole process of how today and tomorrow is going. So if you forgot, for instance, no worries, there's the Create Tomorrow platform that you're on. You can find the program, you can chat with us in the chat around this topic, for instance, but also questions that you have furthermore. We are going to take a break, not per se for ourselves, but also for you. So this is the moment with the other team members or whatever you're watching with to grab yourself a nice cup of coffee, make yourself a sandwich, because we kick off again at 1:15 with the team session. We have some inspiring guests joining me here, not at this table because we have some more tables. So no worries, we will have a nice chat on the theme of energy transition. As being said, yesterday you saw it maybe in the news, or today with Shell and the emissions. So there's a lot happening also right now in the world on that topic, and for sure we're going to discuss that at 1:15. So thanks for joining us already at the kickoff with the keynote of Bas Timmer of Create Tomorrow. Stay for sure with us this afternoon with all the inspiring team sessions, but for now, enjoy a nice cup of coffee, or tea, or sandwich, or whatever you take, and see you here back live on this stage at 1:15.